Hello and welcome back to the course on MetaTrader 4. Today we will talk about the toolbar, and the toolbar is located up at the top here. So we will learn how to customize the toolbar, and we'll learn a bit more what we actually have in this toolbar. So in reality there's actually 4 toolbars here, and you can tell by this little kind of rough patch at the start of each one of them that they're separate. So I can move each one. Let me right click and I will uncheck auto arrange, and I can move them around. So there you go, you can see that there's 4 of them. And also if you go to view toolbars, you will see the names: standard, charts, line studies, and time frames. So this is the standard one, this one over here, that's called the standard toolbar. This one is called the charts toolbar. This one's called the line studies toolbar, and this one's called the time frames toolbar. And you can disable any one of them if you don't want to see it. So just right click and uncheck it and it will disappear. You can disable another one, you can disable as many you want. If you want to return them, just go to toolbars and return it like that or like that. So there you go. So these are the toolbars that you have. Now you can customize each one of them to your liking and remove or add buttons as you wish. Why would you do that? Well, because that allows you to really focus on things you actually use. Why would you have something in here that you don't use? It just takes up space. So if you're on a laptop, then it does take up space, and if you have less of them, then you can actually fit them into one line, into one row, and then that will give you more space for your charts. And also it just distracts, so it gets in the way, and if it's something you don't use, then you don't really need it there. So let's have a look at the period one, for instance, the time frame one. If you right click it and click customize, you can see what you can add and remove here. So if you don't use any kind of period from here, you can just remove it like that and it will be gone. So as you can see, it's already gone out of the toolbar, or you can put it back. You can also add this separator in between. So let's say you want to separate everything that is above an hourly time frame. You just add a separator here, and as you can see, we've got a divider that has been added in there. Personally, I don't recommend making any changes to this toolbar because it's one of the most useful ones. You can quickly switch timeframes, and it's better just to keep everything here. So we're going to leave that one alone, and we will move on to the charts toolbar, which is up at the top here. So if you right click this toolbar and customize, what you'll see here is there's one feature that you can add, but personally I don't use it much, so we're not going to bother with it. Let's see what we can remove from here. So these ones we will keep because they're convenient. We can quickly click them and change the types of our charts. Zoom in, zoom out are useful. Tile windows is quite useful, as we saw. Auto scroll, chart shift are quite useful. Now indicators. Indicators, you can leave it if you like, but we've already discussed that indicators are available here, and we will see further down in the course how to work with indicators. So if you like, you can remove it for now, but later on you can add it back. I'm going to leave it for now. Templates, we've worked with templates and they're quite powerful. We use templates through right-clicking our charts and access them that way. How this button works is it does the same thing. So you basically select the chart you want to add a template to, and you select your template, it will be added to that chart. So maybe keep that button. But now what does this button do? Periods. If you click this drop down and you select a period, it will change the period of your chart. But we already know that we can do it through this toolbar over here. So this button is completely redundant in my view. So you either keep this button or you keep this toolbar. Personally, I prefer the toolbar, so I'm going to get rid of this button. Let me show you how to do that. If I go to customize and find this button and I just put it in here, it's gone. Close. There we go. So we saved some space. We removed one button. All right, so you can do the same process for each one of these toolbars. Let's quickly look at the remaining 2 so we know what is available there. If we go into customize for the standard toolbar, you'll see some options that are practically never used, so we won't be adding them in. The only one that we might consider is options, but I'll show you how to get into options later on through the standard menu. And here what we have is we've got the new chart. So if you want to add a chart, normally I right click the market watch and I add a chart from there. So realistically I never use this button. I'm going to remove it. Profiles are useful, so this is another way to access profiles. Let's keep that. Then you've got the 5 buttons that are associated with the 5 different windows in MetaTrader 4. and we've already used these buttons before, so we'll leave them here. New order, meta editor, and auto trading, I would leave all of those as well. And finally, the line tools. Let's go to customize, and what you'll see here are the cursor, the crosshair that we've used, vertical line, horizontal line, trend line. We'll learn how to work with all of them. Fibonacci retracements are useful, text labels, arrows are useful. The one I never use is the equidistant channel. It's quite a useful tool. It's quite mathematical, but personally I don't use it in trading, so I'm going to remove this one. And then you've got some other tools here that you might find useful. So just look through them and see which ones you have. And then when we get to the section on marking up your charts, you will see the ones that you actually like, and then you'll be able to select them from here. Say, for instance, you like the rectangle, you'll be able to add it into your markup tools over here. So there we go. That's how you set up your toolbar. And if you want to put it on one line, you can. You just put all of them on one line, and that way you'll add some space for your chart. Personally, I'm just going to keep it in 2 lines. Also, by the way, you can completely separate some of the tools. So if you're using something for a specific chart, you can just separate it and use it for the analysis and then put it back. Or you can put it in here, for instance, if you like. But that is already personal preference. So I'm just going to add it back here. I'm going to try add it on a second line if I can do that. There we go, and add this one back here on the second line. And I'm just going to right click and select auto arrange. There we go. Those are our toolbars, and that's us for today. I look forward to seeing you next time, and until then, happy trading.